Have you ever wondered why no matter how much you try to sit up straight, your back still aches at the end of the day? Maybe you've been told, fix your posture, stand up straight, but somehow it just doesn't stick? What if I told you your spine is designed to have curves and trying to force it straight, or the things you do that straighten it are doing more harm than good? Well, today we're going to uncover the natural design of your spine and why misalignment can lock your body into pain, and how a few small adjustments can change the way you move and feel every day. Stick with me, because in just a moment, I'll show you how a quick check you can do right now will help you see how aligned you really are. Your spine isn't a rigid pole. It's a beautifully structured system with 3 natural curves working like the suspension of a bridge. At your neck, the spinal curve is designed to roll inward. The thoracic spine, where all your organs in it and your lungs and heart are, it's designed to go outwards and then back in at the lumbar spine. And this isn't by accident, because when they are there, the bone above sits on the bone below the way it's intended. And you act like a shock absorber. You stand on your bones when you're aligned. This allows your body to move in flow, to have fluidity, and to handle impact without strain. But what happens in modern life? We're all shifted out of alignment. It starts small, maybe a little tightness in your neck after texting on your phone, a twinge in your low back, but over time, your body adapts to misalignment. It locks into patterns, and those patterns start to feel normal even when they're not. And if you try to come out of it, it feels weird and you think it's wrong. So in about 30 seconds, I'll show you how to tell if you're stuck in one of these patterns. But first, let's talk about how do we get there in the first place? All right, 3 somatic reflexes, really important. Your body's always responding to the environment, stress, trauma, even just the way you stand at your desk. All over time gets trapped very frequently in one of 3 major reflexes. First one, green light. You ever feel like you're always on, like you're leaning forward, your back muscles are tight, you're pulled forward? This is your body in go mode. This is the stress mode. And while it's useful for action for short periods of time, we are not designed to stay in this position. That tensioning leads to chronic lower back pain. Very important one to figure out. The collapsing reflex, the red light, shoulders rounded, head jutted forward, a protective response to the front of the body. Everything gets tight in the front. Your breathing's shallow. It's a classic screen slouch posture. It also signals stress, exhaustion, and even self-protection. It shrinks your ability to move freely. Just naming it and seeing it's the first step. And then there's the twisting reflex when you've had an injury or impact on one side. Like, do you always carry a bag on the same shoulder? Have you broken your leg? Does your ankle repetitively sprain? Do you stand to one side when you're standing up? Well, over time, this uneven tension begins to pull your spine out of alignment, and you're always going to orient to the horizon, so you try to get back up and you get all these kinks in your body. This creates discomfort that seems to never go away. Sound familiar? So in a few moments, we're going to do a self-check so you can feel exactly where your posture is right now. But first, let's talk about how do you reset these patterns? The good news is your body wants to be in balance. You just need to remind it how. I always say if you take 1 step towards your body, it'll take 1,000 steps back to you. So step 1, just check in. Right now as you're listening, pause, don't change anything. Where's your weight? If you're sitting, where is it on your sit bones? Is it even? Are you more on one side than another? Are you leaning forward? Are you leaning backwards? Are you on the back of your sit bones? Notice if your head is in front of your shoulders. Are your ribs pointed outward, or are they collapsing inward? Just noticing anything is the first step to change. It's like 85 to 90% of the battle. So step 2, I'm going to invite you in your sitting to slowly arch in and flatten your low back, and you'll do it like this. Sync with your breath. So inhale, rock to the front of your sit bones. Doesn't need to be pain, just notice. Rock, you'll feel your low back curve, and then on the exhale, pull your belly button in and rock to the back of your sit bones. Forward and backwards. Become familiar with your sit bones. When you're sitting, they are your foundation. When you stand, it's your feet. I'm going to do another video on that. When you sit, it's your sit bones. Okay? Now, if you come to the middle, slightly in the front of your sit bones, you're going to notice, if you put your hands back there, there's an inward curve in your low back. From that, imagine drawing your navel in slightly. There's a reason for that. Most of the world's esoteric traditions, right behind your navel is your power point. So don't suck it in, but feel it in the center of your belly, front, back, sides, right in the center. With women, it's about 4 inches below the navel, men about 2. So feel that spot and lift. Now, that lift in sitting, you can transfer to standing. When you stand, instead of leading from your head or leading from your hips, try walking from your solar plexus. Feel the body lengthening upward. Feel your feet connected downward. Again, I'm going to talk more about our tripod foot. But in your length, notice if you walk from the center core of your body, you'll start walking differently. And alignment isn't just about standing tall. It's about how you move through the day. It's often about slowing down for most of us Americans. But really, any culture nowadays, slow down. And there's a powerful breath drill that can reprogram posture without you even thinking about it. So if you inhale, not just into your shoulders, where a lot of us breathe. This breathing is more your active, responsive breathing. Imagine breathing into your low back and ribs. So if you put your hands behind your back, feel your ribs expand outward and backwards. It's a very different way to breathe. 3 breaths just like that. And as you exhale, just let go. Don't collapse. Stay lifted, but soft. Let go. Feel the breath into the low back ribs. Yes. And now really micro adjustment. If your friend or somebody were to take a picture of you from the side, is your ear over your shoulder, over your hip? If it's not, and for many of us, text neck, I've talked about, if your head's forward, you got a problem. So just notice solar plexus in, spine long, a little bit to the front of the sit bones, and then use props like this wonderful little pillow. Find something you can put behind you so you don't have to perch. Relax into your chair. Let it hold you up. Take something off. When your spine is in alignment, everything works better. Pain decreases, breathing becomes more effortless, circulation improves, and maybe most importantly, your nervous system comes out of stress mode and it comes into relaxation and alert attentiveness mode. It isn't just about looking good in a mirror. It's about feeling good. It's about flow, moving with ease, unlocking energize you didn't even realize that you were wasting. And here's the best part. You don't have to overhaul your routine to see a difference. You can do it on your way rather than in your way. So daily hack. Every time you sit or stand, just check in. Feel your feet. Are you connected to the ground? Notice those 3 spinal curves and make one small adjustment. Solar plexus in, spine long. Feel the curves. Notice if you feel ear over shoulder over hip. Sometimes you can't do it all at once, but these tiny movements add up. They rewire your body for the long haul and the thriving you're designed to have in this life. So if this resonates with you, go ahead and follow me. Let's get this information out to more people who need it. And if you want more insights on movement, alignment, and feeling better in your body, subscribe, because I'm really dedicated to getting this out there. I've been a PT for a long time, lots of training under my belt. In this world right now, it's really important that we understand how to align and be in flow. So what's habit you're going to change today? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear. And until then, stay aligned, keep moving forward, and find your flow.